board would like to congratulate all those who participated in this year's Hustler Ball. It was a very regal event. I'm sorry, that's a misprint. It was a very rectal event. I never thought I could blanch at pictures, but I was like, this was in a place? The board would like to congratulate the singer Sharice, who recently came out to Oprah as a transgendered person. You may remember Sharice, who had a small storyline on Glee. She played a diminutive foreign exchange student who could really sing, so of course they wrote her off the show. Because Chris Colfer's got to list through a number. And we all need to be convinced Leah Michelle's Barbara Streisand. Did you know that? Leah Michelle's Barbara Streisand? Did you get it? Season 7, Barbara Streisand? Almighty. The board would like to congratulate Neil Patrick Harris on the recent announcement that he'll be hosting the Oscars. Hooray. Be sure that won't be boring, all 7 hours of it. He's just trying to host everything, because he can't host one thing. This. He's been after my job forever. The board would like to wait for it, with the Catholic Church, who last week had a statement that gay people had something to offer and maybe weren't all bad, and then wait for it, you're still the spawn of devil. Yeah. Forget that. Apparently some conservative bishops were horrified at the notion of offering a kind word to other homosexuals. Because they really get off when people call them a dirty faggot. The board would like to have a private moment with actor Shia LaBeouf. Shia, you recently said on Jimmy Kimmel Live that the reason you were ejected from the musical Cabaret after being accused of being highly intoxicated and verbally abusive was that you were so mesmerized by the power of Alan Cummings' ass, it all just came over you. Nice try. If I got drunk and verbally abusive every time I was mesmerized by ass, I wouldn't be allowed anywhere. I'm barely allowed here anymore. The waiters all know to look, not make eye contact, because it'll get weird. The board would like to remind you, the membership, that Spirit Day was this week. For those of you unfamiliar with Spirit Day, it's a made-up marketing campaign to make people feel better about doing nothing. And people put purple on their Facebook. That's all I can glean from it. It's Spirit Day again. Nothing. The board would like to encourage all the membership to order a copy of Edgewise, the new biography of Cookie Mueller. For those of you who don't know who Cookie Mueller is, I'm embarrassed for you. She's a treasure. You need that book, and check out the pictures of Cookie and her times at Participant on East Houston Street. The board would like to raise a glass with all the joy we can muster at the announcement that Patti LuPone, Bernadette Peters, Christine Ebersole, and Betty Buckley, and a host of other Broadway alums will be honoring Elaine Stritch on November 17th at 4 p.m. at the Al Hirschfeld Theater. It's a free event, so get there early, because faggots gonna pounce. I read this and I almost thought about flying back. I couldn't handle it. They're all gonna be there? Elaine would be like, and I rule you all. You know? The board would like to congratulate queer actor Ezra Miller on recent announcement he's been cast as Flash. I was excited, then I realized it was a superhero. Flash, I was hoping for something different. The board would like to ask The Advocate, are you still a magazine? Tyler Oakley has an op-ed. What the fuck? And now you've rehired Parker Malloy after suspending her for threatening people's lives. For those of you who don't know Parker Malloy, she's unpleasant. And she's gone after some wonderful people, from RuPaul to Justin Vivian Bond to Kate Bornstein, for not being trans enough. And she doesn't just go after them and say, I disagree with your point, perhaps we could have coffee. She says, cut your wrists and die, drink bleach so it goes faster. That's a direct tweet. She's now covering violence against LGBT people. Apparently because she has a front row seat. Or she's writing a how-to. The board would like to ask Jenny McCarthy why. Just fucking why. You were great sometime, we're sure, but don't go off script, okay? Just stick to what you know, which is apparently nothing. You were the anti-vaccine crusader, or as we silently called you, the smallpox kid, because you need vaccines. Sorry, you need them. But she recently said that she feels trans inside too. She just doesn't know how to express it. Maybe you should keep it inside. You shut the fuck up about it. The board would like to praise our new golden child, E.G. Johnson. Do you know E.G. Johnson? Girl. E.J. It's E.J. I know it's E.J. I've had a lot to drink too. E.J. Johnson. E.G. Johnson would be better, but I'll send him a thoughtful note. He's the son of Magic Johnson, and seriously, the sickest queen on television. He shows up. The whole cast of Paris is Burning is like sending him hate mail for stealing their shtick, you know? He shows up in like capes right out of Andre Leon Tully and glasses out of Stritch, and he's like, yes, I'm a fierce queen. And on top of it, his father's a sports legend who you know he's disappointing at every turn. And I couldn't love him more. I believe the children are our future. And the future looks like E.J. Johnson. Thank you. Speaking of pride, the board would like to say in words high-pitched and clear that we love Brendan Jordan. For those of you who don't know who Brendan Jordan is, he's that little kid who's like voguing in the back of the town newscast. If you have not seen it, do yourself a favor. And make sure you see the long shot, because I didn't know there were tights. I did not know there were tights. He is literally... And she's like reporting on a county fair, and she's like, And then some girl gets in his light, and he's like... So it went all over the internet. He said... And I love this. You know, the fame's not really affecting me. I just remember to stay humble. I can't even argue with you. Stay humble. Because you're gonna rule the world one day. You saw a camera and you were like, own everything! The board would like to take a moment to speak to our favorite doddering old Christian on television, Pat Robertson. Patty Melt recently told a viewer, that's what I privately call her, Patty Melt, because the brain, it's gone. Told the viewer to be careful about spending time in Kenya because they have a lot of AIDS even on the towels. How many AIDS accessories does Pat Robertson think we have? Because you remember the AIDS rings. Do you remember the AIDS rings? Pat Robertson said that gay people wore AIDS rings with AIDS in them, you know. And we would shake people's hands and give them AIDS during the 80s because we had nothing better to do. Or spray them at a perfume counter at Barney's. Just AIDS, Jumbo, AIDS. We have so much, we just wanted to spread it around. Would you like to look at my gorgeous ring? Now there's AIDS towels in Kenya. As someone who's had some AIDS on towels, it comes off. Just wash it. Don't freak out. We've all had AIDS on a towel at one point or another. Just put it in the wash. And finally, the board would like to thank artist Paul McCartney for erecting a giant butt plug in the middle of Paris. It was supposed to look like a simplistic Christmas tree, but no. Hit and a miss, girls. It has since been popped by vandals. But we have hope that next year there'll be a whole village of them.